Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of Lucia Craft. I'm your host Lucia. From today on, we have a brand new version of Lucia Craft named Youth Pie. As always, we introduce our guests at the beginning of the show. So today, let's give a warm welcome to Jimmy.
Hello everyone, I'm Jimmy.
And Joonas.
Hi.
Okay, warm welcome. So what's the topic today?
Today we're going to talk about the esports. Today, the first esports World Cup is underway in Riyadh. This World Cup is said that it has the most games and the largest prize pool.
A couple of days ago, the International Olympic Committee just announced that the first ever Olympic esports game are going to be held in Saudi Arabia in the next year. Though the details such as venue or sports to be played or even date is not yet set, but it's still considered as a very great leap for esports.
But to be honest, I do not know much about today's topic, but I did some homework. Esports, short for electronic sports, and it is a form of competition using video games and like King of Glory.
Yeah.
And they play games together, particularly between very professional, like individuals or as teams.
So do you have any general impression of esports?
Yes, like the picture, this one. Before, I think esports just move the sports in real events just to your computer or to your phones, but it's totally not like that, right?
I think it's essentially the same. Both games have the clear rules, and for the esports, well, you need very excellent personal skills, and if it's a team, you also need teamwork.
The most fundamental differences between esports and real life esports is esports, it happens all in the virtual world. It means there is no physical contact between players.
The next question is, what is the development process of esports?
Well, the history of esports isn't quite, we won't say it's a long history because it just happened in the end of the last century.
Yes.
The StarCraft game came along in like 1997.
Oh, 1997.
And like 2 years and 3 years later, Korean produced a first like offline tournament for it. And then Blizzard Entertainment had introduced the Warcraft, and there were the first like internationally heavy influenced tournaments called WCG held in South Korea, and Chinese player Li Xiaofeng has won consecutively 2 champions in 2005 and 2006, which really brought up the passion of esports in China. In the late 2000s, in like 2010, comes the second wave of esports for China is because of the event, because the introduce of the League of Legends. By then, China's esports really start to boom. And by now, esports has become a billion-dollar market globally, with viewership predicted at 641 million next year.
So what about you? Which maybe top 3, which video games or esports games you prefer or you like the most?
I just play the League of Legends in my college. In the early days in China, actually nobody cares about what a sport is. They just think, oh, wow, why you always play the games? Once, a former professional League of Legends players, he shared a story of him. In the early days, he played a local game, and he won the championship. And he wanted to find the organizer to collect his prize money, but he cannot find the organizer. He's run away. Yes. And so he finds the staff, and the staff told him, well, I don't know, you can just call the police. Okay, and then he called the police. And the police, even the police cannot find the organizer. So finally, he went to the backstage and he held a box of Coca-Cola and shared the Coca-Cola with his teammates. And he said, well, it's a prize for the championship. That's what esports is. Nobody really cares about it. But now, today, the esports is
Change a lot.
Yes, change a lot. But although League of Legends is now very mature in China and it has entered its heydays of commercialization, it could be said that the level of professionalization is just about the level of South Korea 10 years ago. So we still have a long way to go.
Long way to go.
Yes.
So I can understand the pressure maybe just come from your family members, or you just say the price, just a box of a Coca-Cola. So the pressure just comes from different directions. Because for you as a player, you think it's a relaxed time. But for your family members, why? Why you just play games? If I am a game player or game lover, can I be a esports player?
Just love is not enough.
Yes,
So
certainly.
it's not easy.
It's very hard, I'd say.
Very hard, yes. And I think for esports player, the love, the passion is not enough.
Just the basic
You need
element.
to have the talent. Yes, the talent is the most important things. And
Just like the athletes, you like play
Yes.
ping pong, you like play basketball, but you cannot be an Olympic player.
the esports player is also a job, it's a profession. There are some professional esports experience camp in China, and the children could go there and to have the experience what is real life for a professional players
For esports.
every day. So after every day's more than 8 hours training,
Yes.
and the playing game is not just it's not a happy thing, you know. Maybe at that time for them, go to school, study is more happier than playing games.
I'd say, because one of the golden age for esports players is kind of 18 or
18.
before 24 years old.
Yes.
Okay.
So after 24 years old, you are no longer better than the younger ones.
And the
My
esports
hands, my
and the
knees.
esports players, when they are over 25, most of them will choose to retire
What can they do after they retire?
to become a coach.
Okay.
Somebody would become a coach for the sports club. Otherbody would nowadays streaming games.
Streaming, yes.
Because some of the famous players, especially when they have, let's say they hadn't won any championship, but they have shown himself, they had shown how good he was, so he has some fans with him. Then he can stream.
There are also huge amount of esports players,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
The
many
champion
players.
always one or two. So what about the future development of esports?
And the future is just like I said, we still have a long way to go. In the future, I think we need to pay more attention to the esports games, and not just for the players now. It's just also for the children's and for their safe.
There are many aspects, many fields for esports. For the industry, we have to regularize the market. We have to complete the market. We need a whole complete line of industry.
And I think we should make more guarantees for the esports player after they retire. Just like we said, some of the esports players after they retire, some will become a coach.
But like Jimmy, you mentioned the esports World Cup
Yes.
in Riyadh, held by Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
So what about the future? And we also today we invite the Mr. Shabani. Let's take a look. What's his idea about esports?
Welcome, Shabani.
Yes.
The future opportunities with the Esports Olympic are numerous, primarily enhancing tourism. Hosting the Esports Olympics will attract visitors and fans from around the world, boosting local tourism and contributing to the development of the tourism sector. There are also economic investment opportunities as the Olympics will open new avenues for investment in infrastructure, technology, and education, creating new jobs and contributing to economic diversification. Additionally, major tournaments and events will provide opportunities to develop local talent in the field of sport, potentially leading to the creation of a new generation of professionals in this field. Furthermore, the Olympics will enhance international cooperation in esports, facilitating the exchange of expertise and knowledge between Saudi Arabia and other countries.
Okay, that's all for today's program. The first episode of Youth Pie. It's my honor to invite you, and you just give me a lot of information about esports. So maybe later I can try a little bit.
Okay.
I will teach you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I need that.
Okay.
That's all for today. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.